Hey guys, publishing another vlog today. It's going to be a quick one, just talking about NASCAR updates and what's going on in the NASCAR world. Today we've learned that Dale Earnhardt Jr., NASCAR's most famous driver, has been not suspended, but sidelined.
Yes.
2 races. And here we have our own little NASCAR analyst, Alex Herbst, to join us. Alex, what would you say about this situation with Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
I mean, I definitely say it's a unique situation. It's one we haven't seen in a while in NASCAR, in that a driver is willingly sidelining themselves because of an injury. And I think this is really smart of Dale Jr. I mean, concussions, as we know from the NFL and from other leagues that are out
NHL.
there, NHL example is perfect, that it's really not something you want to mess with. You don't want to mess with a concussion. And especially after that kind of a vicious wreck that we saw at Talladega, I'm I'm more surprised that we didn't see more injuries come out of that wreck, considering how bad we. That was a really bad wreck. That's probably the worst wreck that I've seen at Talladega since the Edwards flip down the front stretch
Yeah.
when Keselowski won back in 2008.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I agree with you. The 25 car wreck at Talladega. I'm surprised Tony Stewart didn't get wrecked, but I love that. I really do love that post race interview. I really
It
do.
was a great post race interview.
I'm surprised he can flip over twice, land on his roof, get sandwiched between Paul and Clint, and yet have enough time to talk about his workout routine.
It's great that he's still able to have such charisma even after being in such a horrible wreck.
Yep. So, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is out for Charlotte and Kansas. Regan Smith will step in from the number 51 into the 88. No idea after that. I would not be surprised if Jr. steps out for the rest of the year, even though he's already ruined his chase chances. He's out of the championship. Unfortunately for all Junior Nation out there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think at this point, what Junior really needs to focus on would be moving forward, trying to get himself healthy, and to focus on 2013. And it might be a wise choice for Regan Smith to stay in the car for the remainder of the year,
mm-hmm.
get healthy, make sure you're okay. Because I mean, he said it himself. This goes back as far as Kansas when he wrecked in that test crash,
Yep.
and he's been feeling about maybe 80% the entire time.
Yep. For those,
Now, it's gonna really hurt him even further, I think.
yeah. So I honestly don't think he even had a chance of winning it. I mean, he was in 11th at points before he got sidelined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think basically right then you're pretty much out of the chase. But yep, Regan Smith will step into the 88 from the 51. AJ Allmendinger replaces him in the 51, coming back for the first time since being suspended at Daytona for violating a NASCAR substance abuse policy.
Mm-hmm.
And Kurt Busch goes over to the 78 for the rest of this year and 2013. Now, what I want to talk about with Dale Earnhardt Jr. is I think because being sidelined, he can probably step back a little bit and focus on managing his own nationwide team and probably help out Danica a little bit more.
Well, I mean, there's only a couple more races left in the nationwide season. I mean, we've got Charlotte, there's Kansas, Texas, Phoenix, Homestead. So I mean, you've got maybe 5 races left for him to be able to help out Danica and to help out Cole Witt.
Yeah.
And I mean, a big thing I think that he needs to focus on is going to be also keeping sponsors around, because with Danica Patrick moving up to Cup next year, we've already seen that her nationwide commitments are going to be really stepped down, so there's not going to be as much sponsorship for the 7 car.
Yeah.
How are they going to fill in the rest of those holes in the 7 car? I mean, it was okay to stick Josh Wise in that car when Danica wasn't running it.
Yeah, because they brought sponsors with him.
He brought a couple of sponsors with him,
mm-hmm.
Not many.
No.
But I mean,
it was enough to fill the ride.
I don't know that Junior Motorsports would be able to afford another year like that where they don't have enough sponsors to be able to running like that.
So I kind of find it surprising that even NASCAR's most popular driver is still having trouble finding sponsors like that.
I mean, that's the economy these days. I mean, everyone's struggling to find sponsors. I mean, I told you earlier today myself that Tony Stewart's still looking for sponsors for his 14 Chevrolet. I mean,
last year's champion.
He's short 9 races right now on his car. Newman's short on races.
McMurray
needs sponsorship. I mean, there's plenty of guys out there that could really use some sponsorship. Harvick's one of them. Clint Boyer's always need a sponsorship, because I mean,
yep.
It was only, I think, this year that 5 Hour Energy committed to step up from 18 to 36.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's at 22 right now, so he still needs a sizable amount of sponsorship. I mean, we'll have to see what happens. And I mean, Stenhouse could be another one of those candidates that could be needing it. I mean, he has still some of the sponsors that Kansas was able to pick up this year with Best Buy.
Third, Zest.
Yeah, but I mean, they're definitely going to step up their commitment, but it's a question of whether or not he's going to have enough to fill the season.
That sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And besides that, it's going to be a good race this weekend at Charlotte. Who's your pick for the win, Alex?
Well, I mean, after seeing qualifying tonight, I think that the Roush cars are definitely strong this weekend. I mean, you saw how well Biffle did in qualifying. I
Yep.
think Edwards is going to be strong. I think that Kenseth could be strong again this weekend. But I'm not going to rule out the Stewart Haas cars or the Hendrick cars.
Yeah.
Newman was very strong tonight in qualifying. Gordon was up there in practice.
Yeah. Gordon was up there in qualifying,
He was
too.
5th in practice. I don't know where he ended up in qualifying.
He got that top 10.
But, I mean, I'm not going to be able to pare it down to, I would say, one pick. I'll give you 3 drivers definitely to watch. And, I mean, 2 easy favorites and definitely a dark horse in there. I think you're definitely going to have to keep an eye on Greg Biffle. You have to keep an eye on Jeff Gordon. And my dark horse for the race, I'm going to say Kevin Harvick.
Harvick? Okay. I'm going to say Greg Biffle, Matt Kenseth, and my dark horse would be Marcus Ambrose. I really think the Fords are really going to pull through this one.
The Fords need it because, I mean, they've been struggling in the chase so far. I mean, Biffle and Kenseth have been in the basement for such a long time in the chase already.
Yeah.
After being up in the points for so long. So they really need to start stepping it up, and it'll definitely be a good momentum boost going into next year because I don't think they really have a chance at really winning the championship at this point.
Which chase drivers do you think really need to get a good finish in order to stay in this title hunt?
Jeff Gordon definitely needs a good finish to stay in this chase. I mean, he's been second and thirding it out of these last couple of races after finishing 35th up in Michigan.
Stepping up.
He needs a win.
Yeah.
He absolutely needs a win in these next 2 races, either here or at Martinsville, for him to stay in this championship. I'm saying that now. He doesn't get to win those 2 races, he is not going to win this championship. At this point, I honestly think this is Brad K's championship to lose.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's a 14-point lead right now. He has been all but dominant in how he's been controlling the points so far.
Yeah, he would have finished in the top 10 if the big one didn't happen at Talladega. He was right up there.
And even so, he drove through most of that wreck.
Yeah. He finished 8th?
He finished somewhere in the top 10. I'm not 100% sure because, I mean, as NASCAR can attest to it, it was a very, very messy top 10. I mean, seeing David Reagan finishing 4th, Travis Kvapil finishing somewhere in the
Kvapil finished
top 10,
8th or 9th.
8th or 9th, somewhere around there. That is a very messy top 10.
Yeah. Well, it is Talladega, and it's wide known for that, and the super speedways in general.
But I mean, I can easily rule out here right now: Kenseth, Biffle, Truex, Harvick,
Boyer.
Boyer's
in 3rd, isn't he? 3rd or 4th.
We probably should have looked into these stats.
Yeah,
before
you
we
probably
did this.
probably should have.
Yeah.
I should have.
We'll get better for next time, folks.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
We'll get better.
But I think I also think Boyer, even so being in 3rd, I still think Boyer could struggle to try and win this championship because I mean he's not necessarily the strongest when we go to the last 3 tracks: Texas, Phoenix, Homestead.
He could be the underdog in this championship, but you never know. You can't count out Boyer.
Kind of as an underdog, I think the guys that are in the driver's seat right now to win this championship are Keselowski, Johnson, and Hamlin. Those are my 3 that are in the driver's seat. I think Gordon's still in the hunt. I think Stewart's still in the hunt. Yeah, I would say that's probably about how I would sum it up right now.
Okay. Well, we're going to go back to watching the Yankees versus the Orioles game right now.
That game actually just went final. It looks like the Orioles will be forcing a Game 5 against the Yankees, against your Yankees, Chaz.
Yep.
Forcing a Game 5 after 13 innings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really hoping that we don't end up with another long game tomorrow.
Oh, it's grueling.
But at least it's an earlier start. It's a 5 p.m. start, so...
Yeah.
It'll be
they go 5 hours. It'll be at 10 o'clock. Well, other than that, thanks, guys, for watching. And thanks, Alex, for stepping in and being our little analyst here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, okay. And see you guys at a later time, possibly. Thank you.